Right, event number 1 coming up, the Sidecar Front Markers Invitation Limit Race. The Sidecar boys, I know, are particularly anxious to turn on the goodies tonight. But gee, they've been turning it on in recent weeks. Not so much as they go out there and try and crash and bang, but they're really keen to get a race. They're very, very limited in the circuits they can compete. Chris Seymour is the first rider up. 21 is Peter Selk. Ernie Gallagher is there too. He's the number 16. 24 is Doc Bolt. The other rider, Darryl Mitchell. So a full field of 5 will face the start. Up they come. Looking good. And away they go. It's a pretty good start from the back mark where Doc Bolt and Darryl Mitchell got away very quickly indeed. And Doc Bolt high on the outside takes up the running going through turns 1 and 2 for the chairs. Darryl Mitchell is in second place and Ernie Gallagher starting to pick them up quickly now in third. We'll keep our eye on the top 3 runners, and that's Doc Bolt showing the way at the moment with 1 lap down. Darryl Mitchell working hard in second place, and Ernie Gallagher really flew in underneath Mitchell there, I tell you. He was no big pardons whatsoever, and Gallagher said, move over, I'm coming through. And he did come through, charging into second place. But he's going to have to really get going to catch this leader, Doc Bolt. What a tremendous improvement these 2 guys have made. Doc Bolt and his passenger. Only a matter of months ago, they didn't even know how to keep the damn thing going in a straight line. But look at them go now. They're coming home to take the checkered flag in the opening event on tonight's program, and it's a good win to Doc Bolt. Second place will go to Ernie Gallagher. Third place will go to Darryl Mitchell. Fourth place going to Chris Seymour. And 5th place to Peter Selk. A time of 1 minute 2.097. 1 minute 2.097 is the time showing up. And the winner of the event, 24, Doc Fulp. It should read in your program F-O-L-P-P actually. 23, Peter Bennett is the first one around. 15, Dennis Popjoy.
So it's Bennett coming up, Popjoy then circled round again. Now let's have a look. That's Alan Hughes coming round next. We should be looking for Greg Griffith. He was out in practice. Yes, there's Greg Griffith coming up there now. So it's Bennett, Popjoy, Griffith and Hughes. Bennett on the outside here in the red jacket, yellow helmet, then Popjoy on the inside. That's Greg Griffith in the red, white and green. And then we have Hughes, Alan Hughes in the green with the white. Out they go, and Griffith was a little slow to move, but not so Hughes from the back mark, and Bennett went away quickly from Popjoy, going round the outside as Hughes. He's got very high there. But it's Bennett still the leader underneath the start timer. There's Hughes starting to get down to business now. He pours around the outside of Popjoy, and down the straightaway they come, and it's Bennett the leader. Bennett away from Hughes here, followed by Popjoy, and then Griffith, who appears to be in some trouble. Oh, beautiful hook there. A hook there by Alan Hughes to slow it down as he went in underneath Bennett there. Popjoy appears to be in trouble, and so too does Greg Griffith. But the leader at the moment is Bennett, and he's a little hairy too coming out of the corner. Alan Hughes slowly but surely getting to him. Down the straightaway with 1 to go, and it's Bennett away from Hughes, followed by Popjoy, and Griffith taking no further part. By Jove, they're not going to catch Bennett. He's doing it well. Here's Hughes getting a move on again though, but it's Bennett. Hughes slowly but surely getting to him. Hughes around the outside of him. Bennett inside. Hughes whips back in again. They charge down the straight, and it's Bennett. Bennett first, Hughes second, Popjoy third. Great sidecarring by those guys. There was some switching there and changing of line. They all got away with it well, but a good ride and a good win to Bennett. Second place to Hughes. Third place went to Popjoy. Greg Griffith failed to finish. The time recorded by the winner, 103.490. 103.490.
Event 3, the Sidecar Rear Markers Invitation Limit, and a pretty crack field here.
Let Let's have a look now at event number 3, the Sidecar Rear Markers Invitation Limit Race, and this features the top boys, the big bangers. Paul Marnie will ride from the gate. Paul Pinfold will ride from the gate. Keith Braddock from the gate. Kevin Pearson from 10 metres. Phil McCurtain from 10 metres. And Gary Treloar is programmed to ride from the 10 metres.
Ray, chase those New Zealanders out.
So it's event 3 on your program, the Sidecar Rear Markers Invitation Limit Race. Paul Marnie, Paul Pinfold, Keith Braddock, Kevin Pearson, Phil McCurtain and Gary Treloar. All riders out apparently. No, we may well be waiting on one rider. Let's have a look at the monitor here and I pick them up. Yes, that looks like Pinfold about to move. They're starting to roll now, though. Is Kevin Pearson's there? Yes. Okay, they're all ready to roll in event number 3, the Sidecar Rear Markers Invitation Limit Race. It looks like Keith Braddock leading them away. Then Phil McCurtain, Braddock and McCurtain. That's Kevin Pearson passing under the gate now. Going way back here, there's a rider in trouble. Yeah, it's fired now and he should be ready to go. So it's Braddock on in the 37, then McCurtain. Braddock in the white jacket, McCurtain in the red. Coming around here now, this is Ian Adams. Now this is an additional starter on your program. This is Ian Adams in the orange and green, coming up to the gate now. Then Phil McCurtain, Pinfold, Kevin Pearson, Braddock and Treloar. So it's Adams, Pinfold, McCurtain, then Braddock on the outside, Pearson on the second row, with McCurtain, and on the outside Treloar. Where they go, and Adams got away well, and so too did Pearson from the back mark. It's Adams scooting away here from Braddock. There's Pearson getting up on the inside, but it's, let's have a look. It's Braddock that's skipped away here. Pearson scoots out after him now and dives in underneath as they come to the corner, but it's Braddock the leader. Away from Pearson, followed by Pinfold, then Adams, then McCurtain, and Treloar is in trouble, but it's still Braddock the leader as they go down the back straight. There's Pearson getting to, oh, beautiful pass by Pearson there. Pearson underneath him now, Pearson from Braddock, and down the straightaway they come, and Kevin Pearson and Al Osborne kicking away from Braddock, followed there by Pinfold, the Englishman, then McCurtain getting it underneath Adams, and Treloar is in trouble. Oh, rider up very, very high there. That was Braddock, but it's Pearson now, going right away, and he's really got the bit between his teeth as Kevin Pearson, riding like a real champion in recent weeks, and he could be a strong contender, but it's Pearson away from Braddock, followed by the Englishman Pinfold, and that's the way they went over the line. Kevin Pearson first, Braddock in second place, Pinfold third, then came Phil McCurtain and Ian Adams, and the rider who did not finish was Treloar. Well, a good win indeed there to Kevin Pearson. Kevin Pearson first. Second place went to Keith Braddock. Third place went to Pinfold. Then came McCurtain behind him. And then Ian Adams was last to finish. The time recorded 1:01.003. 1:01.003.
To event number 6, the Sidecar Stars Scratch. And what a night of sidecar racing we'll have here on April the 3rd when we feature the 1982 New South Wales Sidecar Best Pairs Championship. If you remember, we were very, very fortunate enough to conduct the Australian Best Pairs Championship here at the Motordrome last season, and what a crackerjack meeting that was. Now,
the Walker brothers?
Correct. Terry Clark is out of this race coming up, Rod, and 10 Greg Griffith will take his place. So scratch Terry Clark and put in 10 Greg Griffith. Keith Braddock from 2, Paul Pinfold from 4, Greg Griffith from 3, Gary Treloar from 1. And in heat number 2, we'll just notify you of any program changes here. Paul Marnie goes out and Ian Adams goes in on the number 17. And the grid draw is Hughes 3, Adams 1, Pearson 4 and McCurtain 2. Treloar, Braddock, Griffith and Pinfold. Stand by, they're away. Pinfold got away well on the outside. Treloar went quickly on the inside too, but not as quickly as Pinfold, who takes up the running. And going out of turn 2 for the first time, it's the Englishman, Paul Pinfold, who has the lead from the Sydney sider, Gary Treloar. Now what can Treloar do to try and pick up Pinfold here? Pinfold's the leader. Treloar, having great experience on this track, will try and wear him down if he possibly can. But look at the Englishman and look at the style of his passenger. That passenger out in front's a guy to watch. Look at him, he gets right down on the dirt. He just about scrapes it up in his mouth, that passenger for Paul Pinfold. And he's starting to blow a little bit of smoke at the moment. Down goes the passenger, leaning right down, giving Paul Pinfold every possible help he can. And they're screaming away out in front. But I wonder whether it's going to lock up on him. It's starting to blow some smoke. Pinfold's in front. They've got the checkered flag coming out. He's got it. Pinfold's first. Second place goes to Treloar. Third place will go to Braddock. And fourth place will go to Griffith. But a fine exhibition of pairing there on that chair by Paul Pinfold and passenger in a time of 56.076. 56.076. Checking the official placings. 48 Paul Pinfold first. 6 Gary Treloar second. 37 Keith Braddock third. 10 Greg Griffith fourth. The time 56.076, 56.076. Program change in the next. Number 4, Paul Marnie out. Number 17, Ian Adams in. And the starting positions, Hughes from 3, Adams from 1, Pearson from 4, McCurtain from 2.
That's Alan Hughes, and then comes Kevin Pearson. Kevin Pearson and Alf Open. Down they go. Oh, they're all the way pretty quickly. They all reach the 30-metre line together. Look at Kevin Pearson go round the outside. It's McCurtain, the leader, away from Pearson. Adams is relegated to the rear. Hughes is sitting in third place, but it's McCurtain, the leader, as they charge out of turn 4. McCurtain away from Kevin Pearson, followed then by Alan Hughes. Then Ian Adams and Les Cox at the rear. Into the deep corner they go and approaching the star, and it's still Phil McCurtain. McCurtain away here, and he's scooting right away now. Kevin Pearson has no answer to him at the moment. And McCurtain, the leader from Pearson, followed by Hughes and Adams in that order. One to go, and McCurtain really cracking it. I'd say there could be a record go 9-9 here. Oh, he's gone very high there though. Trouble there for Kevin Pearson. That allows Alan Hughes into second place and Ian Adams into third. But down to the line comes a very easy winner, a most competent exponent, this bloke. Phil McCurtain first, Alan Hughes second, Ian Adams third. McCurtain first, Hughes second, Adams third. The time 57.864, 57.864. And he's really top class, that boy, Ross.
Yes, Phil McCurtain is a rider who, well, he's been in sidecarring for quite some time, but the improvement that he's made in the last 2 seasons has really taken him to the top of the sidecar ranks, and he will have to be one of the strong contenders, depending on his pairing, for the New South Wales Sidecar Best Pairs Championships here on April the 3rd. Now, Paul Pinfold in this event will start from 70 metres, not 40 metres. Ian Adams goes in for Paul Marnie, and Ian Adams will be off the 30-metre mark. In the second heat, here are the program changes coming through. Greg Griffith will be off 50 metres and not 20. And Keith Braddock will also be off 50 metres, not 30. So they're the program changes for the next two sidecar events coming up. Just repeating those in heat number 1. We have number 4, Paul Marnie, out. Scratch Paul Marnie. 17, Ian Adams goes in his place, and Ian Adams to start from the 30-metre mark. And Paul Pinfold will be re-handicapped to the 70-metre mark. Pinfold to the 70-metre mark. In the second heat, only 2 handicap changes. Number 10, Greg Griffith, will go from the 50-metre mark, and number 37, Keith Braddock, will also go from the 50-metre mark. So they're the program changes to keep you very keen and enthusiastic program pencilers right up to date.
Peter Bennett, the first rider to move. Doc Falk in the all-white on the infield there. This is Bennett on the way round. Falk. Next one to move there is, let's have a look, looks like Phil McCurtain. Then Ian Adams, Doc Falk, no, that's Pearson. Doc Falk is still over here on the infield. Penfold is moving last around, and Falk appears to be in some kind of bother there. I think could be a problem. So it's Ian Adams first down. That's no, I'm sorry, that's Bennett first down. Peter Bennett, Ian Adams, then Kevin Pearson from Phil McCurtain, Paul Pinfold, and Doc Falk coming around now. Okay, Bennett sitting there quietly. Ian Adams moves in. Doc Falk around in the white. Then Phil McCurtain to come into line now. Kevin Pearson and Paul Pinfold. Or Pinfold it is. Bennett, Adams and Falk. Pearson, Pinfold and McCurtain. They've got to go. Ian Adams got away off the mark very, very well, but it's Bennett that goes for the lead from Adams, followed by Falk, then coming Pinfold, who got away from the back mark very, very quickly. Then Kevin Pearson and Phil McCurtain. The leader is Bennett as they come around the corner from Adams, followed by Falk. Then Pinfold looking to the inside. He's being hunted up by Pearson, and McCurtain is at the tail of the field. Pretty well bunched up here, and there's really nobody got an absolute mortgage on it at the moment. Pinfold is really starting to make ground. So too is Ian Adams hanging on well, but it's Bennett the leader. Bennett away here from Adams. Pinfold going through on the inside. Oh, there's some great riding there. Look at Ian Adams go right around the outside of them, but it's Bennett the leader. Pinfold from the back mark, slowly but surely getting to him. Adams relegated to third, then Falk, Pearson and McCurtain. But down round the corner, beautiful Pinfold. He's first through on the inside there. From Bennett, followed by Adams, then Doc Falk. Kevin Pearson looking to make more ground too from Phil McCurtain, but it's the Englishman Pinfold the leader. Pinfold away here from Bennett. Ian Adams hanging on the third. Doc Falk went very high. Kevin Pearson and McCurtain, but it's all over. Pinfold first, Bennett second, Adams third. Then comes Falk, behind him Kevin Pearson, and last to finish is Phil McCurtain. Over the line they went, and a good win indeed to the Englishman Paul Pinfold. Second place went to Peter Bennett, third place then to Ian Adams, then came Doc Falk from Kevin Pearson and Phil McCurtain, and the time recorded by the winner, 1:19.816. Here's coming round there, that's Trelaw, is it? Trelaw going in place of Clark. No, Trelaw is in there anyway. The guy coming round here in the white 37 is Keith Braddock. Then at the back, Greg Griffith and Trelaw.
And away they go. A pretty even start. Popjoy got away particularly well. And it's Popjoy who takes takes up the running as they go through the turn for the first time. Now the back markers are trying to make up some ground as they go out of turn number 2. And the first back marker to make up some ground is Alan Hughes, who charges up into second place. Now Popjoy's the leader. Here's Hughes working on him in second place at the moment. Then comes Terry Clark, Greg Griffiths. Keith Braddock got squeezed out as Gary Trelaw went in underneath him. Let's keep our eye on the lead here, because Dennis Popjoy's going to have to hang on like grim death if he's going to keep out the challenge of Alan Hughes. Alan Hughes looking for an insider on him here. Down the main straightaway they come. Popjoy's up a little bit high, but Alan Hughes wasn't quick enough to come through on the inside of him. Now Alan Hughes has a crack at him on the inside. Popjoy bites back on the outside though and keeps the lead. Dennis Popjoy is fighting like a caged cat at the moment. He's holding them all at bay. He'll come down to get the one lap left to go, and Dennis Popjoy still the leader. Alan Hughes is making a throw at him. He can't get any closer though, then Popjoy might hang on. Dennis Popjoy's holding all the big charges at bay at the moment. Half a lap left to go and Popjoy skipped away. He's opened a lead of about 10 metres now, and I think he's home and hosed safely. Down the main straightaway, number 15, Dennis Popjoy is first. 20, Alan Hughes is second. Third, Terry Clark. Fourth, Greg Griffith. And fifth place going to Keith Braddock. The rider who failed to finish in the event was Gary Trelaw, who suffered mechanical problem. 1 minute 20.792. 1 minute 20.792 in the placings. 15, Dennis Popjoy first. 20, Alan Hughes second. 3, Terry Clark third. 10, Greg Griffith fourth. 37, Keith Braddock fifth. 6, Gary Trelaw failed to finish. 1 minute 20.792. Just getting the starters down in the sidecar scratch final for you. So repeating those: Pinfold from position 1, Trelaw from position 2, McCurtain from position 3, and Hughes from position 4. Up to the line they come. This should be a good one. Sidecar, stars, scratch, final. Watch the Englishman, Pinfold on the inside, go. A very good even start too, and Trelaw got away quickly. None better than Pinfold though. McCurtain and Hughes trying to dive through on the inside, and Trelaw going right round the outside. And the Sydney sider, Gary Trelaw, now takes up the running. Can Pinfold chase out after him? Let's see what the Englishman can do now. In the last race it was around the other way, and it was Trelaw chasing after Pinfold. Now it's Pinfold chasing after Trelaw. Trelaw's got a handy little 5 metre break on them at the moment. Pinfold knuckling down to his task now, starting to gather Trelaw in ever so slowly as he's being pushed along by McCurtain in third place. 1 lap left to go. Gary Trelaw still maintains that handy 5 or 6 metre break. Number 1 there and can't get any closer to him. Half a lap left to go. Gary Trelaw seems to have it in his keeping. Here's a final do or die effort by Pinfold as they come to the checkered flag. But it's Gary Trelaw's race. Trelaw is first, Pinfold second, and McCurtain third. Well, there's little doubt about the fact that the Sidecar boys provide plenty of action on a racetrack, and none better here than at the Newcastle International Motordrome. 57.148. 57.148 being the official time. Trelaw first, Pinfold second, McCurtain third, Hughes fourth. Braddock on the 37. Then we've got Doc Bolt. Also in there is Seymour. And starting right back at the rear of the field is a rider I can't identify, but he's in all sorts of bother. We'll try and identify that rider for you, but he completely left the circuit there. But he get back to our race leader, and that at the moment is Keith Braddock going down lane straight away. Doc Bolt coming back at him on the outside. By gee, this Bolt's a tiger, he won't give in. And there goes Bolt right round the outside of Braddock and back to the lead. In fact, he skipped away about 10 metres in front. Bolt's got a round right on at the moment. It's Doc Bolt, the race leader, but here comes the danger. The danger stretching at the moment is the number 19. That looks like Greg Griffiths out there at the moment. Yes, it's Greg Griffiths who's barreled his way up into second place. And look at Trelaw starting to barrel through on the inside too. By gee, they're all over the place. It's Doc Bolt coming down main straight away, the leader. Greg Griffiths is in second spot at the moment. Then comes Gary Trelaw, Keith Braddock and Bill McCurtain. So down the back straight away, half a lap left to go, and Doc Bolt's going to do it again, by G he is. And it's Doc Bolt who's going to take it out. Bolt is first. Second place goes to Griffith. Third place in the event goes to Trelaw. Fourth was McCurtain. Fifth was Braddock. And the last rider, the unidentified rider who got away to one heck of a start, we'll identify that rider for you in just a moment. I did put one, I did throw you a bit of a dummy there. I did say that Seymour was in the event, but it was Greg Griffiths riding the Seymour machine, which is what momentarily threw me. So let's check them down for you. Doc Bolt first, Greg Griffith second, Gary Trelaw third, Phil McCurtain fourth, Keith Braddock fifth, and the Unknown Warrior was in sixth place. We'll check it out for you in a moment. 1 minute, 19.412, 119.412. Right, now, Peter Bennett, one of the first riders around. That's Terry Clark, the next rider around on the number 3. Thanks to Ride Videos, I'm getting a big help. Adams on the 17, Pobjoy on the 15, Alan Hughes on the 20, and Paul Pinfold on the Ugly Monster. But a new track record holder, and thank you very much, Mr. Wright.
Ross, have a look at that left handlebar of Paul Pinfold. Absolutely staggering.
Away they go, and Bennett takes up the running as they jump away, and quickly followed out by Pobjoy. Adams tries to squeeze through there on the inside of Clark. Is there a way through? No, Terry Clark's back at him on the outside. Adams on the inside, Clark on the outside. Who's going to give way? No one's going to give way. Terry Clark got the better though as they came round the third, and he goes up into third place. Then Adams, and here comes Pinfold from the back mark. Pinfold starting to peg them back around Adams. He goes. Keep an eye on Pinfold. He's up to fourth place now. Can he snatch the lead away? Our new track record holder. Right round the outside he goes. He's up to third. No, he's not. Clark's back on the inside. Here's Pinfold now up to third. Look at him go. Right round the wall. He's riding the wall of death at the moment. Paul Pinfold. Up into second place he goes. What a blinder he's turning in here. Up to the race leader he goes. Pinfold from last. And he's going to go to first, is he? From the outside of Bennett. Bennett back at him. Pinfold on the outside. One lap left to go. Pinfold stopped there. What a ride. Paul Pinfold goes to the lead. Bennett in second place. Then comes Pobjoy, followed by Terry Clark, then Ian Adams, and back at the tail of the field, you can forget about them because this boy has set them alight, and a great win. Paul Pinfold from the back mark. That's a top ride. Bennett, Pobjoy, Clark. Then comes Adams and Hughes. And ladies and gentlemen, an incredible ride.
And that's really the word. There's no question about that. Paul Pinfold, the Englishman, and a most unusual setup on this. If you Ride Videos, of course, give us a magic look, but that left-hand handlebar is well down. And you notice him going into the corners, and it's a most awkward style, and well down and offset, but he certainly does the job. And depending on who he is paired with in the New South Wales Best Pairs Championship, it could he could be looking the title in the face. But let's cross trackside right now to Ross.
Thanks very much, Rod. Worked hard tonight, and we'll wait until they get their helmets unbuckled, because Paul, immediately after that race and such a great effort from the back mark, the crowd really showed their appreciation to you, and I'd like to show my appreciation at the moment. Congratulations on a fine ride. On behalf of Pablo's Liquor Store of Walls End, we've got 2 magnums of champers for you tonight. One thing I want you to do is keep them till after the race meeting, will you? Thank you very much. But the first one is for setting a new 3-lap track record, which we didn't acknowledge a little earlier on. We were a little busy at the time. And the second one I've asked for special permission to give you after what I believe is one of the most exciting handicap rides we've seen at the Motordrome for a long, long time. Wouldn't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? That was a brilliant ride. So, on behalf of Pablo's Liquor Stores, would you accept those Paul Pinfold and passenger Michael Lillis? Congratulations, Michael. A great effort. And in 2 weeks' time, Paul, the New South Wales Sidecar Best Pairs Championships here at the Motordrome. Can we see you here for that?
I hope so. I have to wait and see what happens in the club room.
Okay, you're here from England, of course, doing a stint of riding. What about your career in England, just briefly?
Well, mainly it's grass track, which is a bit different. It's the same sort of setup, except it was run on grass instead of shale. And I find it difficult, actually, changing the shale.
So you came out to Australia to have a bit of experience in sidecar racing. Sidecar racing in England is something that's not done a great deal, though, isn't it?
No, there's an awful lot of sidecar riders want it to start, but we've just got to wait and see when they go back if it will start all.
Well, you'll certainly go back as a very, very experienced rider, and congratulations again on behalf of Pablo's Liquor Store of Wallsend and the Newcastle Motordrome.
Well, thank you very much, thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Michael Lillis. Great riding on their sidecars tonight. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with us whilst we made that presentation to the riders and just a brief delay in our program. Back to you, Rod.